Good afternoon, my dear students. So, in our previous class, in yesterday's class, that we have discussed about the first one, the characteristics, and then functions, about the bank definition that we have discussed. I think all you have wrote yesterday's, so which I have given another homework for you. So, if you have done the homework, please upload your the homework in the group. That okay. Let us come to the today's point. So about the relationship between the bankers and the customers. So my dear students, in today's class we want to discuss about the relationship in between the customers as well as the bankers. That so the bankers. So let us understand. So here in this the relationship we have to categorize in a two part. So the first one is about the general relationship, and second one is about the spatial relationship. So in the general relationship, as we have discussed that, so we want to discuss about the primary relationship. That's the first point in the general relationship. So what is that? The first one is the primary relationship. Primary relationship, that is just the debitor and the creditor. That so will deposit, they will receive the money, and then second thing is that so if you want to withdraw, they'll give us and then we will take the money, just only this much. That is which we are going to call as the primary relationship, or the debitor as well as the and a creditor relationship. That and then second one in this one about the subsidiary relationship. Second one is the subsidiary relationship. That means so in this subsidiary relationship, it means a trustee and the beneficiary relationship. The trustee means so if in a as to establish any in a organization, it requires one trust. That so it requires a chairman and then secretary and the board of members. All together we are going to call as another trust. That is so the trustee, the people who are there in that trust, we are going to call as the trustee. And then beneficiary, who is going to benefit, so means the trustee people. That so it is not sometimes it is not according to the rule of law. That so the relationship, the trustee and the beneficiary, the people who are there in that trust and then who are going to benefit in that from that trust. So like that, they'll be having the subsidiary relationship. And then the third point is about the agent and the principal relationship. The third one, agent and principal relationship. It means that so it will works that agent in between and a whom it in between the and a government, and in between the brokers. So like that it will works as another agent as well as the principal, means as the main person, that the relationship. That is so these are the primary relationship, the subsidiary relationship, and then the third one is an agent and the principal relationship. In the examinations, so they may ask the question in such a way that so what were the relationship between the bankers and the customers. If they were asked, just we have to write the general relationship and then the spatial relationship and the points together. That is in the first one, in the general relationship, the primary relationship, the subsidiary relationship, and then the agent and the principal relationship. These are called as the general relationship. And the second point is about the spatial relationship. In this spatial relationship, so under the special relationship, the first one is obligation to honor checks. This is first one. And second one is that obligation to maintain the secrecy of an accounts. That It means the first one in this under the special relationship, that is first one, obligation to honor the checks. That this is most important. Both are important. So if I had given a check to the other person, so in that moment, if everything, the particulars which I written in the check is each and everything is right, then the compulsorily the bank has to give the amount which have written on the checks. That is the most important point. It should not disobey the checks. That it should not say, no, I won't give the money to you. If all the particulars are correct in the checks, then the bank, it has to provide the amount to whom? To the and a particular the customer which the check has brought. That this is must. That it cannot deny. And second one, the obligation to maintain the secrecy of accounts. My dear students, under this one, obligations to maintain the secrecy of accounts, if I am having the customer of another State Bank of India, then you are also the member or the account holder of the State Bank of India, or if you are not having also, you cannot directly contact with the bank employees who were working in that concerned banks, and you cannot ask my account details. And then if you are asked also, then the bank people or bank employees, they cannot give all my account details to you people. So if they had provided, then it is, understand that my dear students, it is the punishable. That because the bank employees, they must maintain the secrecy of all the accounts. So they were agreed before opening another account, they are ready to maintain the secrecy of my bank details. Sometime, so through the court orders, through the government order, they can disclose any bank account details to the law, or they may be publicized. Understand what I am saying? Till that moment, they must maintain the secrecy of accounts. So that's why. So this is the special relationship in between the customer and the bankers. Understood that? These two are what I want to say. These are the special relationship in between the bankers as well as the customers. That is okay. The next one is about the services offered by the banks. My dear students, the services offered by the banks are in such a way. So they may ask for another 2-mark question. So if you are lucky people, then they may ask you the same question is for the 3 marks also happens. Okay, 3 marks means you have to write 6 to 7 points. All you have to write all the 8 points. Okay, so let us understand what is the first one. The first point under the services which were offered by the banks, that already we have discussed. It may be in the functions as well as the characteristics. Again, some points are extra here. Okay, so they are ready to provide you the debit cards as well as the credit cards. So just think that. So what is the difference you might have in your home? It might be also there. The first one is the debit card and as well as the credit cards. So in the debit card, so whatever you have deposited the amount in your bank, you are able to withdraw the money. But whereas the credit cards are used by the banks, so as a loan to you people. So you have to pay it within the month. So for the credit card holders, they are ready to provide another up to the 1 month the limit that means it may be the 50,000 limit or the 1 lakh on the basis of your revenue. On that basis, the credit is limitation they had made it. Debit cards facility as well as the credit card facility, and then the personal loans for any other purposes, your own purposes. If you require the loan, then they are ready to provide the loans which they are going to call you as the personal loans. So one thing you have to understand, you must remember that which it will be called as the personal loan interest is quite high than the other things that is. The third point is that the home and the vehicle loans. So if you are thinking, if your parents are thinking to construct your own house, if you are not having the sufficient funds, then the bankers or the banks are ready to provide the loans. So with another security, the home loans, if you are ready to purchase the two-wheelers or the four-wheelers, for that also they are ready to fund you on the basis of the vehicle loans. I think in the period of the Dasara, Deepavali, so or the Yugadi, some advertisements if you are ready to you might have seen in the newspapers. And then the next one is about the mutual funds, which is directly linked with the share markets. There are some people, so they are fearing, and some people, so they will think in a such a way, whatever our hard earned money, if you are invested in the share markets, you may lose. So in that moment, so in a stipulated manners, in a brand companies all together, we can be able to invest the money. So in a systematic manners, we'll get the number of the shares that or the units we can call it as in the mutual funds. And then in the yesterday's class we have discussed about the safe deposit lockers. The banks are ready to provide you. And then the trust services. In the trust services, my dear students, they are ready to provide you and several aspects. So we are able to trust the banks if they are what we have to say that one, the court has ordered to maintain some assets, they are ready to maintain also. And then the signature guarantee. So when we are opening an account, at that moment we have made the signature on the forms. Okay, understood. I think all you might have your own bank account. It is essential also. If you are not having, you must open bank account today itself. It is an essence. When the school it will starts in the regular form, the school authority you might have, they may ask you to provide the bank accounts. Okay, so they are ready to provide. This person's signature is an authenticated, this person's signature is a genuine ones. Like that, they are ready to provide the signature guarantee. And then the next point which we are going to call as the e-banking. My dear students, the several aspects. So the withdrawal, the transfer of the amount, and the NEFT or NEFT, RTGS, all these facilities, or the RD account, recurring deposit accounts. So all these facilities, so we are able to do in a single click by sitting in our home. So which we are going to call as an e-banking system. Not only this, we are ready to provide, we are able to pay all the bills by sitting in the home, or not only in the home, by sitting in anywhere that. within the single click. That if you are having the net facilities, if you are authenticated by the banking system, all that, it is a very much an easy task. So all these facilities are ready to provide by the banks. That is. Okay, so the next topic, it is that the banking transactions and the banks and the post office. Later on, so we'll discuss about this one. Afterwards, so the types of the banks we'll discuss now. So what are the types of the banks? Already you have studied in the ninth standard, that was. Okay, let us check out one more time. Okay, so types of the banks. So the types of the banks are, first one, central bank or another RBI. First one is RBI bank, Reserve Bank of India. Second one is a commercial bank. Commercial banks. And the third one is the industrial development banks. Industrial development banks. And the fourth one is the land development banks. Land development banks. And the fifth one is the indigenous banks. Indigenous banks. And next one is about the cooperative banks. So with these all these banks already we have studied in the ninth standard. That already we have completed. You know to make the so you know to discuss about all these banks. RBI is the main bank to which is already controlling all the banks of India. Next one is about the types of the banks. Next one is types of bank accounts, not the types of the banks. That my dear students, so they are having another four types of accounts. That so the first one is the saving bank accounts, or it will also called as the SB accounts. First one is SB accounts. Second one, current account. Third one is the RD account or the recurring deposit accounts. Fourth one, term or the fixed deposit accounts or TD accounts. Term deposit accounts. So in these types of bank accounts, what type of the questions they are ready to ask you? One, the first one, they may ask you in the differentiate in between the SB account and current account. This is one. So they may ask you in the exam, in the board examination, differentiate in between the SB account as well as the current account. That if you know, then you are able to write very much easily. That if you understood only in one time, it's more than enough. It's not having another more and more differences in that. And then so RD account and the one, so TD account, term deposit accounts, they are going to ask you just a 1 mark question. That ones. So this is a differentiate question for the 2 marks, and then in RD and TD accounts, just the 1 mark question that you have to understand. Okay, so let us understand that first one about the saving bank account. That who is having the authority to open an SB accounts. That is, who is having an authority? That is, my dear students, it is very much easy that anybody can open another SB accounts. Any salaried person, that is, who is having the fixed regular income. So then what is the intention to open the SB accounts? it is the most important that even in a one marks question, they can ask you in a such a question that. So because to encourage the people to save money and pool their savings. I'll repeat it. To encourage the people to save the money and pool their people balance. So which they can utilize when they requires, which is the most important aspect, my dear students, in the savings bank account. Honey kudadare halla. So what we are going to say that if you are having the 5 rupees, you can deposit earlier. So nowadays, minimum the 10 rupees we are able to deposit in any accounts that anybody can open that. Anybody can. Who is in the lunatics, who is not another lunatics, they can open an account that ones. Lunatics means who is not another mad. If you are any person is a drunkard, he cannot open the bank accounts that all the time is drinking. He cannot open the bank account. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕುಡಿತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. So only that person is not having the authority. So the no restrictions of the number and the amount of deposits in a single day. You can deposit the amount 5 times or 10 times. There is no restrictions at all. In a weekly, so every day you are depositing the money. You are not having any restrictions. But it is having the restrictions when you are withdrawing the money. So in a year, so not in a year, in a month, only in a sometimes, so nearly about the 5 to 10 times, you are having the authority to withdraw the money. Not in every day you are, no, it's not having the authority. So if you are willing to withdraw the money every day, then they will put some service charges upon you. So when we are withdrawing through another debit card more than 5 times, automatically from your account, the amount will be deposited to the bank in the same way. Here also having some restrictions. So I'm having one question here. If I am the trader, if I am the businessman, at that moment what should I do? Because each and every day I must deposit the amount, I must withdraw the amount. At that moment what should I do? So this is a question. Several times in a day, several times it will be we can deposit, or several times I want to withdraw the money. So one most important, I left it in the saving bank accounts, that is here the interest rate, it is too much less if you have deposited amount in the savings bank. It may be in between 3 to 4%, just minimum that is. Only the 3 to 4%. But whereas in the current account, what I am saying for the business person, which is the most important, that every day is a lot of the deposits are there, as well as the withdrawal also it is there. At that moment what should I do? So for that person, it's the best means and current account. The second one, current account is the most important aspect. So in this one, any number of withdrawals can be made, any number of deposits can be made in a single day. Only a person who is a trader, who is the business person, only he can do that. He can open a bank, the current account in any bank. Understand, my dear students? I cannot open at the bank also the current savings account or you cannot open the current account, because we are not the traders, we are not the business people. Okay, and on the basis we how much amount you have deposited, the bank are ready to provide the OD facility, on draft facility, that on demand facility. We can also call it as that. It means OD facility means, so if in the bank account it is having only the zero balance, then also if I had given and a check, I'm a trader, I'm having another current account, if I had given the check of another 5,000 or 10,000 rupees, the bank it will pay the amount on the behalf of me, on behalf of myself. So that is called as the OD facility. But here one more thing that which we must remember, that is here there is no interest rate. So the banks it won't provide you the interest for the and a current account. No interest for the and a current account. Whereas for the SP account, it will be having a very much less rate of the interest. Here there is no interest. The government or the banks will not provide any interest for the and a current account. That. Next one is about the RD account. RD account. So generally this account is a very much benefit for the and small workers, or the we can call it as who is having the dream to make another huge amount. We cannot in a single day we cannot make and lakhs together, that or crores together, or thousands together. That it requires a systematic planning. That so at this moment, if you requires in this moment, what we have to do, we must choose and the RD account. My dear students, my father wants to wish, they are having the wish to teach me the engineering or the medical. So at that moment, in a single day, they cannot give you so in a lakhs together amount for the colleges or the schools. In a systematic planning. So every month and 100,000 or on a so like that, if they had deposited, so then only they can make another huge amount after the 5 years or 1 year. Or for the marriage purpose, your parents have decided in the at present days only. For that purpose, what they had made nowadays only from the today itself, they are started to invest the money in your name, 1,000 rupees or 2,000 every month. That it will be very much useful. That is regularly monthly basis, that for the wedding, wedding expenses, or for the other purpose, for the educational purpose also, which is the best, the recurring deposit account or the RD account. Here the rate of interest is quite high than the SP account. So some around about at present stage you may get 7 to 8 percentage. 7 to 8 percentage. Okay. So this is RD account, which is useful for the a future purpose. Next one is about the term or the fixed deposit accounts. Term deposit accounts, or they can also call as an FD account. FD accounts. So in this FD account, it will be utilized for here also the rate of interest is quite high. Some around about the 8 percentage, 9 percentage in a which we cooperative societies. The rate of interest is quite high, about the even up to the 10 to 11 percentage also. Up to that much they are ready to provide. But there is no security for your amount. You have to deposit your amount only in the nationalized banks, which is assured ones that. So in a TD account or in a FD account, you can open a fixed deposit by depositing and a particularly in a some amount for the fixed period. 1 lakh rupees for the 6 month, 1 lakh rupees for an 1 year, 1 lakh rupees for an 45 days. In a such a way, we are able to deposit for a particular fixed one period. My dear students, so this amount we are unable to withdraw in the middle or in mid of the in this period. That means we can withdraw, but the assured amount they cannot provide you after the expiry only. After the if you have deposited this amount and a particular sum of the amount for a period of 1 year, afterwards you can withdraw the full amount. They are ready to provide you after 6 months. So if you have kept the amount for another 6 months, afterwards they are ready to provide you the 6 months along with the interest. Like that, they are ready to give you that. Okay. So in the today's class that we have discussed about the some topics. The first one is about the relationship between the banks and the customers, and then the services which are offered by the banks, types of the banks, and the types of the bank accounts. And today's homework that you must write, the first question is about write down the relationship between the bankers and the customers. What were the services offered by the banks? I'll repeat it. What were the services offered by the banks? Next one, what were the types of bank accounts? I'll repeat it. What were the types of bank accounts? Explain any one. Next question, differentiate in between savings bank account and current account. Okay. In our next class, so we'll discuss about the procedures to open a bank account. About the next topic, it will be the banking transactions, the banks and the post offices. Okay, thank you. If you are having any questions, so in this chapter